What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Fans Hobby Purple Naval Commander, or their version of a Shattered Glass Armada Optimus Prime. So this was sent to me by Dr. Diecast. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. This is actually the first time I'm looking at this figure, so we are going to do a full review of the figure, including transformations and everything. So if you would like to skip certain parts, I put the chapters in on all my reviews, so you can skip forward on just to see the parts that you need to see if you've already watched this review. But I am going to go through a full review, and this is the Shattered Glass deco. So we did get the regular deco already, but you can see it literally has the shattered glass there. Nice paint. Silver behind the translucent plastic. That looks good. Orange translucent. Green for the headlights here, silver for the bumper and the grille. That all looks good. Silver for the wheels. Black, this is plastic wheels, not rubber. Or it's a plasticky, rubbery plastic. But gold paint, silver paint for the smokestacks. Here's the back, you got a little bit of blue paint here. All in all, really nice looking truck. It rolls very nicely. It's nice and hefty, thick piece of plastic. And it does look good. You can remove these and put them on the side if you prefer. So if you want to have this look, you can. Me personally, I think it looks better on the back, but you can do whatever you want. And to get this connected to the trailer, you'll see there's a little adapter here. And that adapter is going to attach to these two tabs on the back. So I like to hold it like this with my finger and then get it plugged in and then put it down. That's not how they recommend in the instructions, but now you can roll it. It does roll on these rubber treads. Often treads don't work very well. These work okay. They're pretty good. I'm overall impressed with how this came together. You have some nice deco on here too. The whole thing is kind of covered in this silver wash, so it's got like a weathered look to it, but this has got purple, this gunmetal, gold, silver, lots of nice details and deco on the trailer and on the figure. And you can see some of that silver weathering on there too. We do get a bunch of accessories here that we can use in the vehicle mode. So if you come to the bottom here, there's a little peg slot right there, and you get this gun, beautiful paint. It's got that same silver wash over black, silver paint, gold paint, purple paint. This will plug in right here with these two tabs, and it can fit underneath. Although my personal preference, instead of hiding it down there, is to put it on the top here. And you can open up these handles, and those will fit right here. You can get those lined up, and you have to kind of angle it forward a little bit, but it will fit in there. Personally, I think that is the way to display it, is having the gun on the top. You also get these, which are missile pods, and these will mount right here. So there's a little groove here to fit, but if you close that up, you can attach this right here. There's just two slots on the top and bottom. You can plug it into those slots. And we can do that on both sides. And now we have missile pods, and you can actually open them up if you want to. So you can shoot off some vertical missiles. We also get these missiles here. So I've already preloaded them, but basically they have firing missiles that will when flying. Looks like this, purple and black plastic. These little buttons, these gray buttons up here, will fire them. We can actually set these up if you open this up. And then you can angle these kind of however you want. But I just thought that's really neat. They've got these little missile rocket launchers. You can also take this missile and it'll actually plug into here as well. Black and first, by the way. And there's a button right here. It's actually kind of hidden, but let's see if I can get it to go. Oh, there you go. So you can fire it with this gun as well. So he's got some significant firepower here with just this mode. You also get the Minicon done in this gold paint with purple windows. It's a beautiful redeco of the Minicon. You got the blue headlights there, a little bit of silver back here, black on the top. This does roll, and you can do a couple things with this, but mainly in this mode you would attach it to the side. So if we come to here, there is a little peg right there, slot right there, and you can line that up and peg it on. Me personally, I think it makes more sense to have these on here, but if you want, you can move these to back here. So you can still store everything, all the weapons. This is everything it comes with basically, so you can store everything and still be on the go. Very nice. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to MP-10 Optimus Prime with his trailer. And the cab obviously much shorter than this cab. Lengthwise, it's pretty close. It's maybe an inch or two shorter than this trailer. Widthwise, it is actually a little bit wider if you include these. Even without these, it's still a little bit wider across the top. And the truck mode is about the same width. So there you go for a sense of scale. All right, let's take a look at the battle station mode. So go ahead, and we're going to unpeg this from here. We can get these plugged back in for now, but we're going to show you one thing before we go to battle station mode. If you open this up, there is a extended trailer mode, whatever you believe that is. But we're going to close this, and you might want a spudger for some of this. Just makes it easier on your hands. But we're going to open up this panel. We're going to close these up. And we'll set this aside. Flip this over, tab it in. And we can unpeg this. Bring these out. I'm going to lift down on these. So that peg is removing from here as you lift down. Right. Open up these on the side. And same on this side. And then we can bring this back together. And you want to rotate here on this, what becomes the hip skirt a little bit later. But right, bring this down. Come back to the front here, and I forgot to do this, but fold this down. Bring this to the back and bring this down and make it look like a T. So it should be like that on the bottom. And that's actually a stand for the front of the trailer. And now it can sit down like that, and you can have this like this. And you can actually have this as well. So if you open up this side, you actually have a little storage thing. So he can go out of here, you know, kind of drive out of there. Or if you want, you can make this into a ramp. You can go down the ramp. Actually, I should have mentioned you can store the Minicon and then put this mounted on there. So you can have the Minicon in there. But nice little display options here. And pretty cool. So let's take a look at the base mode. So we'll get this trailer transformed first. Fold these down. We're going to come to the front here and undo these. I'm going to open up this backpack piece here, and they're just tabbed in right here. So when you're going back, you know, you're going to lift up on here. This is a very tight joint, but you want to extend these out on these two pegs. It's very squeaky and very tight. All right, make sure you get that all the way, and then we're going to come down and bring this around. And it tabs in right here. It doesn't sound so great, but it does actually work. So this lines up in here and tabs in like that. And you can kind of see how this is coming together, but rotate these out of the way for now. Open up the legs and just have them extended out like this. And then we'll take care of all of this. This is just going to fold and sit flat on the bottom. Now we can open up this panel right here, which is hidden inside. I found it really cool that they have a lot of stuff stored in here. That's why the weight of this is so much. There's so much plastic in here. Go ahead and open these up, and that's going to make a little ramp. I'm going to open up these, and these are actually going to tab in right here to the guns. Pretty neat. We're going to open up this panel right here. So lift this up on a double hinge. Lift this up on a double hinge and fold this up. This has a tiny little folding panel right here. And the intent of that is to go on top of this. So go ahead and get this plugged in. That'll solidify that top piece, and then this is going to come in, slide this in, and then let that sit on top. Alright, there's the base mode all put together. The two ramps kind of attach here. You can put the little vehicle there. And you probably want these turned around because obviously facing forward. And the only thing missing right now is the Optimus. And Optimus is going to end up right here in this slot. But we can attach these as well. So these actually have a groove that will fit over these armatures. And then two tabs will fit on down here. So get these attached, one on each side obviously. And you can still have the missile pod part open for the battle station. And then lastly, you want to get this gun, use this tab right here to attach right here on the top. You have to pick left or right. You can't get these two, unfortunately don't fit in here unless you do it like this. But you know, then it's vertical and doesn't make any sense. So you have to pick one or the other. These are going to become handles for Optimus, of course. So Optimus is going to go right here. So let's get him transformed as well. And one detail I want to mention before I forget is, since this is an exclusive, it is actually numbered. So if you open up the foot, you'll see MB-15C. This is number 319 of 600. So each of these are individually numbered. There's only 600 made, just like exclusives from TFCon. So if you did buy this, check out that number on yours. So for the cab here, we're going to get him transformed. Go ahead and open up this panel here. We can unpeg this from the side, unpeg this from here, bring these down. Same with this one, bring this down. Flip it over, rotate the arms down. We're going to open up this chest piece right here, which is tabbed in here. Yeah, tabbed in there. Bring this down, and then there is his matrix. Yeah, it's a little hard to get it out, so I'd recommend pushing from the inside. But there's that gold matrix with a purple jewel in the middle. Pretty neat attention to detail by Fans Hobby there. All right, go ahead and close that up. This is going to accordion down inside and look like that. I've never seen hardware like this. It's almost like a plastic chain. It does feel robust. I just was surprised by that. I've never seen something like that. All right, so this is going to attach here. Just get the chain configured. And then this bar will rotate down. Okay. We're going to go ahead and rotate these guns to the side of his arms. And that kind of exposes that beautiful gold there. Open up this panel, which already opened up on its own. Flip out the hand. Close that up. Flip out this hand. Close that up. And next we will take care of the legs. We're going to open up these feet, flip them all the way around, and then they tab in on the bottom. Some of this one, flip this all the way around, tabs down on the bottom. Split the legs, open up these panels. You can just kind of get them angled and out of the way. All right, then the last step here, go ahead and come to the top, fold these in, and then we're going to just fold that back. And there you have Optimus, all transformed into robot mode. He looks really nice. Nice head sculpt there. And overall pretty good. This should be pushed together. Here's the back. These hip skirts are a little annoying, but it is actually accurate. So it's supposed to be there. Yeah, overall good looking. Now you can arm him with the gun that we have attached to the base, but we're going to leave it there on the base. He does have these two side barrels on the side of his arms. But let's go articulation before we put him on there. Head is on a ball joint, goes up and down. It's a double ball peg, so the neck goes way up, way down, side to side, rotates all the way around. Really good movement on there. And the wash, the silver wash is on this figure as well. Shoulders go up and down here. You got bright purple paint there on that shoulder pad. Shoulders on a ball joint, so you get butterfly joint on that. You get in and out movement. Rotation at the bicep. Single jointed elbow, but if you extend the elbow, you can get a double jointed elbow and cheat if you want to. Wrist will rotate. Fingers are on a single pin. Like I mentioned, the gun can go into there on that slot. Coming down to the legs, you have these rear hip skirts get out of the way. Legs go up to there, back to there. And you can do the same thing with the knees if you want. You can get that double jointed knee. Oh, and I forgot to do this part of the transformation. These knee pads should be pushed upwards for the transformation. Sorry about that. You have a rotation at the knee, 90-degree bend at the knee. You have ankle tilts both directions, plenty of movement there. And down if you unpeg it from here. And then you actually have a toe tilt down too. So nice movement for this guy. All right, let's get him on the battle station. Go ahead and lift up his arms. And we can open up the hands. Kind of get him in this position here. You can get these inwards as far as you go. Again, they're on ball joints. So if you wanted to get him further, you can actually pull out on here. And then you can get them even closer together so that he can hold the handles very securely. Like that. So bring in your battle station, and we're going to get him to hold these. So there's Optimus on the battle station. Very, very cool. You have these guns back here too. Actually, let's put the hip skirts down. So if you want, he can fire some missiles, or he can fire the gun. You know, really, really nice touch. You can also come to the front here. There's another gun, so you lift up on this and then pull upwards, extend the barrel. Now you have small guns down here. I'm actually pretty impressed how well done this is. All right, and let's not forget about the Minicon here. So for the Minicon, you're going to pull out on the doors on both sides, and it's just on a little ball joint, so if it pops off like it just did, just pop that back on the ball joint. You're going to pull out on that ball joint connection. Come to the top here, we're going to detach this backpack. So you can pull the legs apart here. But this backpack part is very tight, so I recommend a little bit of caution there. Let's get these legs. The legs down. And then we want to detach right here. It's a little peg point. So it's pegged in right there underneath, right there. So go ahead and lift up on that gently. There we go. So the best I can recommend is pushing up on this. All right, so this is going to come down. Obviously these will make the feet. This is going to come all the way around and just sit on his back. Come back to the front here. You're going to slide the arms in on these mushroom pegs. Bring the doors up, and then they're going to tab in. There's a little slot So tab them in on the top. Same on this side. Tab that in. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. And there you go. There is your Minicon. Kind of an involved transformation for a little guy like this. For his articulation, you have a rotation at the head. There's a panel here so you can't get the head up and down, but shoulders rotate around on a ball joint awkwardly, and they do get unpegged if you go too far. Elbow gets you up to there. There's hands on the inside. Hands. Oh, and one thing I forgot is supposed to press in on this abdomen. Doesn't do much, but legs kick up to there, back to there, a little bit out to the side, bend at the knee, and then the toe goes back and forth. So somewhat simplified, but you can get him here on the battle station. There you go. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his combined mode. So go ahead and we'll start with this guy. I'm just going to set this off to the side for now. And we'll actually start with the chest. So go ahead and lift up on this. We're going to re-close this panel here. This time we're going to bring this up, tab that back in. This is going to flip around. So we're going to rotate here. So bring these joints up. You can collapse those, rotate this panel, and then close those back down. And then this is going to come down and sit back right here, kind of a little bit above where the chest was before. There's two pegs there, get them in, so it should look like that. Now he's got this no head syndrome. This angle slot right here. Actually, I had the wrong way, but I'm going to go down like that on an angle. So same for this one. You can see there's an angle slot right there. So get that lined up and get that pegged in. All right, and you can see there's two tabs there. We're going to separate the legs, and it's always interesting. The legs become the arms on the combined mode. But open up this panel. This is going to come to the inside. There's a tab and a slot. Oh, and we want to extend this leg out to make the arm. And now we'll be able to close this. All right. We can take this, bring this back, peg that into the back part of it, open up this panel, flip out your combined mode hand, close that panel, that locks in place. And then we can bring the arm down, rotate so you have the elbow facing forward. You can bring this knee pad back down. All right, go ahead and do the same thing on this side. I'm going to do it off camera and I'll be right back. All right, now we've got both arms done. We can take care of the head. Go ahead and we're going to open up this. We're going to open up this front chest piece here, and it can be a little bit tight. There we go. I got it. Flip open the head. It's going to sit down there. Bring this back over, and that's going to sit on top. And let's take care of this. So these get locked in with these tabs and then these arms. So go ahead and we can fold away his robot arms and make sure it's straight before you put it in. That wasn't straight. Here we go. All right. And once you have the hands in there, go ahead and rotate the gun to the back, and then these tabs are going to go into the slots on the arm. All right. Same thing on this side. All right. Now we've got both arms plugged in. We're going to move these panels to the side. So these little gray panels have to slide over. I found the easiest way is just get a spudger in there and slide it over, because they're actually kind of tight. So same thing on the side. And you want to make sure they click in, because that's what holds the arms up. I mean, in addition to these and these, they both hold the arms up. All right, so we've got both sides now. take care of the front of this chest. So I found this very interesting how they did this. I've never seen transformation like this, but open these up. This is going to accordion out like this, and then these are going to come down and puzzle piece. I'm going to keep saying it until people start saying it. I know they're dovetails, but bring these down, tab them in, and that makes the front of the chest, which is really cool. Cool transformation. All right, set this aside. That is the top of the robot, and now we got to deal with this monstrosity. All right, you can collapse the cannons in, rotate them to the top. Just leave those there. And let's stand them up. Bring these feet up. They're going to tab in right there. And then bring the toe back down after you do that. Same on this side. And now we can just stand them up at least. And take care of all this. We're going to unpeg this from here. We can fold this flat, rotate the hip skirt down. And that'll make one side. Same on this one. Now we'll take care of the upper body here. So go ahead and unpeg the gun. Remove these. Fold that flat. Fold this underneath. Fold that flat back into the panel that it was in. We're going to bring these around. So unpeg them. And have them sit on this side. And then we can close down the wheels. All right, so same on this one, bring this down. Fold this down inside of here. And peg it in, and then peg the wheel into that. Close these back up. Now we're going to separate these two pieces, and it can be tricky. There we go. And these are going to rotate to the back and come down and basically make rear hip skirts. It's actually where they're going, but you can use those. Extend the leg down, the foot down at least one click. These extend all the way down to there, but just extend it down one click so that you can angle out the feet, right, and get some stability out of him. Right, take the hip skirt piece if it hasn't already, and then tab that into there. Go ahead and grab your torso. There's a tab back here, and then two tabs on the front, and those are going to go into here on this panel. So the back one's going to go into the back. So do the back one first, and then the front. And you can hear it's a very firm click. Go ahead and open up the ears. All right, and there is Purple Naval Commander in combined mode, and this thing looks really nice. The color scheme here really works in the combined mode. You got that nice weathered look. The purple, blue, gold, silver, all of that contrast really looks nice. I really like how the weathering just comes out all throughout the figure. Nice little green accents on the toes, knees, crotch, arms, and then chest. Overall, really nice looking deco. Here's the back. He does have a lot of junk in the trunk, but he also supports it well, so it's not an issue. It doesn't get in the way or fall down or hinder like some figures. This one really just works. And overall, very nice looking. Let's get in close on the head because there are some options with the head. You got nice gold for the face mask, metallic red for the eyes, and then silver for the ears and the head crest. And you can swap out the ears. I'm actually not going to do it because it's kind of a pain. And since this is an exclusive, I don't want to risk breaking anything, but you get these kind of like exhaust pipe style ears. And they look good, but I prefer these for this figure. You also get translucent replacement eyes, which again, I'm not going to swap out. But if you want to use the light up feature in there, you can put the translucent eyes in there. I did try, I attempted to put batteries in, and there's a button right here to activate it, but I just couldn't get them to work, and I didn't want to mess with it too much. So it might be I just have the wrong type of batteries, but you do have a light up feature in the head. You have to basically pull down on the chest and then lift up on the head panel. You got to unlock all these shoulder pins, take apart the head. There's 3 screws in there, and then you can get to the battery compartment. So it's a little bit of work, but you can get a light up feature. But overall, it's got a really nice look to him. Let's go over the articulation. The head is on a ball joint. You can actually pull it up on this peg, and that gives you a little bit more articulation. So you get down to there, which is important for a big character, up to there. You get side to side, and it rotates around. I really like that they built in a pop-up joint, because for bigger figures, often the head is not articulated well, and this one, because of that extra movement, you get more out of it. So that was smart. Rotation at the bicep on this hinge here, actually at the shoulder really. You can lift the arm out to the side, and these are the legs in the Corebot mode. But the rotation here at the bicep, you have a single jointed elbow, gets you 90 degrees, a little short of 90 degrees. You have rotation at the wrist. Individual articulated fingers, they really work nice. They're on 3 pins for the regular fingers, and then the thumb is on a ball joint and a pin. Very nicely articulated, nicely toleranced as well. I appreciate when the hands are done well, and all of the hands with this guy are done well. Continuing down, we have a waist rotation. You do start colliding, but it's amazingly, you can move this out of the way, and it doesn't really hinder. You know, you can just lift them up or move to the side. So even though it's got all that junk, it really gets out of the way. These hip skirts can rotate and go up and down. Obviously it's the panels in the truck mode, but we can get this one up. Now this was a hip skirt on the original Power Baser that was a pain. This one's nice and tight, nicely tolerant. It doesn't get in your way. The legs are on ratchet joints. You can get it all the way up to there. All the way back if you get this out of the way. Out to the side on a ratchet. Nice tight ratchets. It does only go up to there, but you don't really need any more for a big character like this. So let's back out a little bit. We get a rotation at the thigh. We have a 90-degree bend at the knee. Nice strong ratchet at the knee as well. This knee cap is actually pulled out, so sometimes if you press on it, you just accidentally collapse it. Just pull it back out. Ankles have a tilt, but if you pull it down, you actually get more tilt out of it. That's a lot for a big guy like this. Forward 2 clicks, back 2 clicks, side, toe tilt. I mean, how much more could you ask for in a big guy like this? Let's go over the gimmicks and the accessories on this guy. And I did mention already the light up head there and the swap out ears. You can also take these, and these will mount right here. This little slot is actually going to mount on top of that. And these tabs are going to go back here. Get that plugged in like that. Same on the other side. And now you have rocket launchers on the front, and that's really cool. You can also use these, so if you pull this out of the way, pull these down. Fortunately, you have to kind of untransform it, but bring this up and around. You can have these missile launchers too. I mean, you can set it up however you want, but really neat. Obviously, you can take his gun here, and it's collapsed for the other mode, but we're going to extend it. Painted beautifully. And this is on a rail system, which will go into his hand and attach very securely. And now he has all that firepower, and it looks really good. You can also, if you prefer, you can take this guy, and there's a few different spots to attach him. You can attach him down here, just like we did in the vehicle mode. And for a quick size comparison, there is next to the Fans Hobby Delta Baser, their version of Delta Magnus from the Chosen Prime. And about the same size, they basically come up to the same height to their head. And for another quick size comparison, there it is next to the Hasbro version of Armada Prime. This is a commander class for them. And you can see how much bigger it really is. I mean, obviously it's MP scale versus the retail chug scale. So final recommendations on the Fans Hobby Purple Naval Commander. And this is going to be recommendations for Naval Commander in general because I never reviewed that figure. But I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. This is an absolute phenomenal figure. Strong recommendation from me. They really nailed it in all the modes. The vehicle mode is fun, looks good, looks just like the cartoon, and it works, has all sorts of gimmicks and features. The base mode, which is usually my least favorite mode of any figure, works, and it looks good. You could even display this that way, I think, in your display, because it works. And then, of course, the combined mode and the core robot modes both are really well done. Obviously, the best version of Armada Prime ever made out there. Maybe even one of the best primes in general made out there. Now, if Fans Hobby can continue this trend on figures like this, making them with this level of quality, this level of detail and functionality, I think they could be, the #1 company out there. One of the issues is that they do have releases like Lernian, their version of Hydra, where things are just not quite there. Just need a little more time, maybe a little bit more thought into some of the connections. This one, no issues like that. The only issue I really had was getting the batteries into the head. It's a little bit of a nuisance. And I did get the batteries in and I couldn't get the eyes to work, but I don't really care because it looks great with the metallic red, which I prefer anyways. So it's a moot point, but really no issues on this guy. So definitely recommend it if you're a fan of Armada Prime or just of Fans Hobby in general. That's it for today. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for letting me take a look at this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.